KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more. Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
Good morning, I'm Debbie Cruz. It's Tuesday, August 15th. Residents are being urged to be prepared for peak fire season. More on that next, but first, let's do the headlines. Today is District 4's Election Day, which means it's the last day for people who live in the district to cast their ballots in the special primary election. It's to fill the seat on the County Board of Supervisors that was previously held by Nathan Fletcher. If you haven't voted yet and you'd like to cast your ballot in person, 14 vote centers are open today from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can also still drop off your ballot at one of the 29 official ballot drop boxes around the district, or send it in by mail as long as it's postmarked by today. Brace yourselves for another hot week. Starting today, temperatures are expected to reach close to 90 in the county's inland areas. In the mountains, temps will be in the high 80s, and in the county's desert areas, temperatures are expected to reach up to 111. The National Weather Service says there's also the chance of thunderstorms in the mountain and desert areas. But by the coast, temps are expected to be in the high 60s. If it feels like gas has been costing you more lately, you're right. The average price of regular gas in the county is the highest it's been since around Thanksgiving. The average price rose to $5.20 this week. Prices have been increasing for 3 weeks. Officials say that's partly because of rising oil prices, but gas prices are about 15 cents less than this time last year. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
KPBS On Demand is supported by Latino Legacy Foundation, presenting their Storyteller series, Reach for the Stars with Ellen Ochoa, the first Latina astronaut, former NASA director, and San Diego native. Sunday, June 29th. More at latinolegacyfoundation.org.
The devastating fires in Maui are a reminder of the danger of wildfires. Just last week, thousands of East County residents were hit with evacuation warnings and orders as the Bunny Fire spread in Ramona. Reporter Matt Hoffman says with peak fire season here, firefighters say residents need to be ready for the worst.
CAL FIRE San Diego Captain Michael Cornett says how fast the Bunny Fire grew underscores why people need to have a fire plan. That includes making sure everyone in your home knows where to go and what to do, and how essentials like papers, prescriptions, money, or pets can quickly be packed up.
We want to make sure that everybody's plans in place now. Make sure that your defensible space, you're getting that created and completed. Making that emergency kit, having all that food and water and everything, and making sure that you can last for 72 hours with that.
An evacuation warning means the fire could soon be in your area, while an evacuation order means people need to go as soon as possible. This Saturday, the county is hosting an emergency preparedness event in Ramona so residents can be ready for natural disasters like wildfires. More information, including what to have in emergency kits and how to sign up for alerts, is available online at readysandiego.org. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
In other fire rescue efforts, a 4-person search and rescue team from the San Diego Humane Society is now in Maui. Reporter Thomas Fudge tells us about their plans to save animals caught behind fire lines.
The San Diego Humane Society has a trained fire team, and that's why the Maui Humane Society is asking for their help. Fast-moving wildfires often force people to flee quickly and sometimes leave their pets and livestock behind. So Monday morning, the San Diego fire team got on a plane to Maui to search for abandoned animals in the fire zones. Team leader Summer Piper said along with respirators and other protective equipment, they would also bring what's needed to bring an animal in.
So we might have gloves, there's some nets, different things like that that allow us to safely capture, contain, and then transport an animal.
She said they hope to reunite animals with their owners when burned areas begin to repopulate. The San Diego Fire Rescue Team expects to be in Maui for up to 10 days. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
The March of Dimes has a new report on maternity care in California. Reporter Katie Hyson spoke with a local manager about what the report does and doesn't reveal.
California is rapidly losing birthing hospitals. More than 1 in 5 closed in recent years. This year, hospitals in Poway, Oceanside, and El Centro closed their maternity wards. Local March of Dimes manager Jessica Wade says hospital closures contributed to a startling statistic. Last year in the U.S., 1 in 10 babies were born before their due date.
That is the highest that the March of Dimes has ever reported.
Wade's son was born premature in what she describes as a low-access area. During his 143 days in the NICU, Wade says her family lost everything.
House, cars, jobs. And there were really days where we were like, okay, are we going to take the train to see our son who's 90 miles away, or are we going to get groceries?
Fewer providers means more money and time to see a doctor. And Wade says those barriers hit hardest among Black and Indigenous people in low socioeconomic areas. The report marks Imperial County as a low-access area. And that was before the closure at El Centro. Though San Diego County is marked as full access, county-level data can mask disparities between zip codes and miss nuances, like how many people cross into Mexico for care. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
A 21-year-old Sikh man is the first to graduate from Marine Corps boot camp wearing his articles of faith, his beard, and turban. Military reporter Andrew Dyer has this report.
Newly minted Marines from Golf Company marched Friday at the San Diego Marine Corps Recruit Depot. Among them, Private First Class Jiskarat Singh, an observant Sikh who won the right to wear his beard and turban through training. The Marine said he couldn't wear those things, so he joined a lawsuit in 2021. He says Sikhi and Marine Corps values align.
We have honor in wearing our turban, keeping our beard, the courage. Sikhi is a very warrior-oriented religion. If you go through history, you'll find out a lot about that. And then commitment in the Marine Corps, and then you have commitment to faith in Sikhi.
Last year, a circuit court of appeals told the Marines to accommodate Singh and other Sikhs. Singh is now off to the School of Infantry at Camp Pendleton. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
Coming up, an author headlining this year's Festival of Books tells us about her book on pop culture's impact on society. We'll have that just after the break.
KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more, Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
The San Diego Union Tribune's 7th Annual Festival of Books is this Saturday. One of the authors headlining the event is Aisha Harris. Her book is called Wanna Be: Reckonings with the Pulp Culture That Shapes Me. She talked to my colleague Jade Hindman about it. Here's part of their conversation.
Okay, so first question, Wanna Be. What inspired you to write this book, and what inspired the name for it?
Well, I had been thinking for a bit about how much pop culture has had such a huge effect on my life. And yes, of course, I am a pop culture critic. This is what I do. But there are many ways in which it's influenced me, not just professionally, but personally. Things that have made me change my own habits, my day-to-day habits, the way I think about other people, the way I think about myself. And I feel as though, this is a book that is part memoir. It's very personal. I tell stories that are very specific to my childhood. My name has an entire essay devoted to it, and sort of a journey that I went on with appreciating my name. But I also think so many of the essays I included here also will resonate with a lot of readers, because there are plenty of people my age, I'm a millennial, who have had the same experiences of kind of looking back on things that they may have loved or consumed when they were younger, and realizing, there's how has this affected me for the better, maybe for the worse? And I really wanted to sort of dig into that. And as for the name, Wannabe it's kind of twofold. The first is that I write a lot about the Spice Girls in this book, and my own experience. Like, I was at the core, age when they became famous, where they were consumed my life. And Wannabe is partially an ode to that direct reference to them, but also just this idea of how we see ourselves through pop culture and how we might want to be something else or someone else through the arts, the TV, the music and movies that we consume.
It's interesting because in the first pages of your book, you do talk about how you've learned a lot of lessons about yourself, as you mentioned, and how the world works by way of pop culture. Can you talk a bit more about that, and about you specifically? What have you learned about yourself through pop culture?
Well, the introduction of the book is probably one of the more revealing things I've ever laid out about myself personally. It's kind of embarrassing, but it is a nod to the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and how just a sort of toss-off joke really made me realize that I had been doing my own, one of my sanitation grooming habits wrong. That's all I'll say. You should read the essay yourself to find out what that's about. But, I already mentioned my name, and the first essay is about how for so long I sort of associated it with this idea that my parents had named me after the Stevie Wonder song, Isn't She Lovely? And Stevie Wonder's daughter, his daughter is named Aisha. And in that song, he directly mentions her. And my parents would play that song all the time when I was younger and sing it to me. So I always thought, oh, this is where my name came from. But a lot of people I would interact with who were of a certain age, and to this day who might be of a certain age, would immediately associate it with a different song by a group called Another Bad Creation from the 90s. They're this sort of one-off, one-hit wonder group, boy band group. Yeah. These like prepubescent younger kids. And they have a song called Aisha. And I hated that people would associate my name with that song. And so this essay is me taking the journey of realizing, first of all, learning that, in fact, my name wasn't exactly inspired by Stevie Wonder, and then questioning, okay, why did I want it to be that? And why was I so annoyed by the fact that this other song, this lesser song in my eyes, or just like not as prestigious song, was the one that people wanted to connect me to. And it leads me on this journey through confronting my own anti-Blackness, my own desire to not feel my own desire to feel better than other people, and feel sort of like the way in which our tastes often make us want to feel as though we are superior to other people.
Mm-hmm. In your book, you talk about how, the way we interact with pop culture has really shifted, especially from one generation to the next. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, the big thing is social media. I think social media has played perhaps the biggest role in the shift of the way that we interact with the art and media we consume, because it allows us to, develop and create these personas around the art that we like. And, in one of my essays, I talk about how we've gone from, having our own fandoms and maybe talking about it with the people within our orbit, our friends, our family, arguing about those things. There was the concept of the water cooler show, where you would come in the next day and you would talk about it with all your coworkers. But now you can talk about it with anyone, anywhere across the globe at any time of day. And so you have people who are able to dedicate even more time to their obsessions with anything from Star Wars to Beyonce to Taylor Swift. And also creating these fandoms and standoms that really, for better and for worse, like I think there's a great aspect of being able to connect with people all over the globe about a shared passion. But at the same time, it is very sometimes, I think in many ways, we've lost the ability to really connect because so much of that fandom and standom is often weaponized.
Do you think it's been effective in raising awareness to social issues at all?
Well, of course. I think everything from Black Lives Matter to Me Too, it's been extremely helpful. So there's definitely a positive side to it. But at the same time, there's only so much that social media can do. And we're also seeing right now the shift of social media platforms, especially when you think of Twitter, which is now X, but I refuse to call it X. Right. You're having this shift from what we used to know and what we used to gravitate towards. And now it's kind of turning into the Wild West, where it's much harder to find useful information than it was say 5 years ago, or even just 2 years ago.
That was author Aisha Harris speaking with KPBS Midday Edition host Jade Heidman. Harris will be on a panel at the Festival of Books on Saturday at 12:15 p.m. The festival runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at USD. That's it for the podcast today. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. I'm Debbie Cruz. Thanks for listening and have a great Tuesday.
KPBS On Demand is supported by the San Diego County Toyota dealers, presenting a new 2025 Tundra designed to combine performance and comfort with up to 437 horsepower and 10-speed automatic transmission. See your Toyota dealer, the San Diego County Toyota dealers. We make it easy.